Hello and welcome to Cinemondo with Elizabeth and Kathy.
Hi, guys.
Yay! Yeah. I had to have Elizabeth for this one because this is just a fan favorite. People love this. And so I was really wanting to see this. Ken suggested this and said it was one of his favorite movies.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
It was so good.
Spoiler alert, I liked it.
So good.
Yeah.
So we are going to review that. But first, Elizabeth has some news of her own about a new channel she has.
I sure do, you guys. Okay. So if you want, I don't know why, this would be what you want. If you'd like to see me talk more about things, you can now on my own YouTube channel, where I will be bringing you news and updates and information about just horror movies and media. And Rachel Shadow is my creative partner. She's awesome. And she's over at the Zombie Girls podcast network. We met through Bloody Good Horror, where I met Kathy. It's where all my favorite people are from. But
cool people.
Yeah, that's right. We're like the cool cafeteria table. So yeah, Hira Score is the name. It'll be weekly. We did a soft launch for Valentine's Day where we reviewed the horror teasers during the Super Bowl. And it was super fun. And I'm so excited to do our hard launch in March. So check it out. It'll just be the one episode for a little bit. But we're also on socials at Hira Score, Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me at Final Girl Scout. I'll be promoting everything on my account as well. So we can't wait to have you guys. We're going to have live shows where you can comment during our show. So if you want to ask questions about movies or me or whatever, join us. It's going to be super fun.
I know. We need to do more live shows. I love those.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can have a little cross-promotional.
Oh, that would be fun.
Cinemondo, Hira Score.
That would be a collab.
A collab, you guys.
We can do a collab.
Let's do it.
I would love it. And, you know, as you know, and you guys know, if you've seen our channel, we love horror movies. That's our favorite. So that's why we're always covering horror movies. So if you see it, it's usually lots of great Indian films and then lots of garbage horror because that's what I love. That's just what it is. Yep. I can't help it. I'm a sick woman.
I know. Okay. Me too. So, I mean, yeah, you're in good company.
I know. See, we love this stuff. I don't know why. And one of our favorite movies of the year, if you watched our Female Critics 2002, almost all of us had, Fresh as our favorite movie. One of the favorite movies of the year.
That's so good. So good. Okay.
Yeah. Female directors doing horror it always gives it a whole different perspective.
Oh yeah. And I'm so glad we have so many more jumping in and being allowed to take the reins. And I think we're better for it. And we're seeing the horror sort of landscape shift in a way that I'm so here for and can't wait to talk about.
I know.
It's going to be awesome.
Definitely. So have me on and I'll talk about it too.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm already inviting myself.
Well, no, for sure. We have Women in Horror Month in March as well. So that'll be, that's another reason we chose to launch then. We'll have just lots of cool content for lovers of women, lovers of horror.
Lovers of women and horror.
Join us if you like movies and good times, you guys.
It's going to be so good. And Elizabeth knows her shit. So it is a good one to check out. Rachel also. I've quoted Rachel on certain things. I ripped her off all the time.
She is one of my favorite humans. And I'm so glad to be working with her in any capacity. So she's another huge bonus.
I know. I love her hair. But in the meantime, we have this, we're being classy today and we're reviewing this incredibly powerful drama that it made you feel really good and it made you feel deep feelings and it was scary and it was sad. It was also very happy and inspiring. It had the whole thing going on in this movie.
It really did kind of it captured
everything.
Elements of most genres that I felt very at home watching. Like I'm always going into things like, it's a drama. No one's going to be a werewolf. No one's going to be, like it's not going to be like a zombie apocalypse. So, and I get myself prepared for like almost like a snooze fest just in case.
It's going to be slow.
Not at all. Not at all, friends. No, sir. It was
really, it's 2019 Malayalam film. It was directed by Madhu Narayanan. I think it was his directorial debut. It was produced by Fahadh Faasil, Fafa, as some people are calling him. He's been in a ton of great stuff. So many good things. We saw him in Vikram. He was great in that.
Yeah, I knew I saw him.
Yeah.
I knew him from somewhere, and yeah,
he's great. And he was a highlight of this. Just so like vibrant, and I mean, that was kind of interesting too, because it has this kind of languid, beautiful, relaxing, lovely thing, and then you have him who's like this disruptor in the whole and he's ruining everyone's day. All the time. So we're going to take a quick review of the trailer again. You should also check out our trailer reaction. We're going to run it through real quick here so you get a vibe for the movie, and we're going to talk about it. Okay. Are you ready to watch this trailer?
I'm ready.
Reminders. Okay, here we go.
I'm ready.
Frankie, എന്താണ് ചെസ്സാ ബോളോ എന്താ അല്ല മച്ചാനെ വേറെ സീനാണ് എന്താടാ എടാ നമ്മുടെ സിമിച്ചേച്ചില്ലേ സിമിച്ചേച്ചിയുടെ കല്യാണം കഴിഞ്ഞു ആടാ പുതിയ പേരൊക്കെ അടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലോ ആ ഒരു ചേട്ടൻ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട് എന്താടാ അയാളുടെ പേര് ഷമ്മി ഷമ്മിയാ ഷമ്മി ഞാൻ പറമ്പിലേക്ക് ബോടിച്ചാളോ ഓണാണ് വിളിച്ച് കളി തീർത്തി പാട്ടാ അവിടെ വേറെ പറമ്പില്ലാത്തോണ്ടല്ലേ ആ ടക്കുള്ള ഡയലോഗ് ഓടിയൊക്കെ കുറവുണ്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞു ആള് ഭയങ്കര സീരിയസ് ആണ് എന്ത് അതൊന്നും കാര്യാക്കണ്ട നമുക്ക് കയറി കളിക്കാം അതല്ലടാ ആളത്ര വെടിപ്പല്ല ഇച്ചിരി വശം കാണും
നിങ്ങളുടെ അങ്ങനെ എന്താടി കുഴപ്പം പഞ്ചാബാണ് അടിപൊളി മൈൻഡാണ് ഇത്തരം കാണിക്കലറിയാ എന്തിനാണ്
യേശു നമുക്കറിയാത്ത ആളൊന്നുമല്ലല്ലോ.
എവിടെ വർക്ക്
പാർട്ണർഷിപ്പിൽ തേപ്പടിയുണ്ട്
ഇച്ചിരി മണ്ടനാണ്. പക്ഷെ രണ്ട് ഡാർക്ക് കൊടുത്താൽ മാറുന്നുള്ളൂ. നടപടിയാണ് കേസല്ല ബേബി മോളെ. ഈ ട്രൂ ലവ് ഒക്കെ ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് ഫാഷൻ ആണ്.
തന്റെ ഉള്ള ജീവനം കൊണ്ട് ഓടി രക്ഷപ്പെട്ടു.
You don't have to go. He's my guest. Do not yell at me. How dare you?
USA okay. India no. നല്ല കുടുംബങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു സംസ്കാരമുണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ കാത്തു സൂക്ഷിക്കണ്ടേ. നമ്മൾ ഈ വീടൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് തേച്ചൊന്ന് വാതിലൊടിച്ചാൽ തീരാവുന്ന കാര്യമുള്ളൂ. എന്ത് ട്രാക്കാണ് എടുത്ത് മാറ്റാൻ പറടാ. ഒരു ചേർത്തെ ട്രാക്ക് മാറ്റി. ഓരോ ടൈപ്പ് മനുഷ്യന്മാരല്ലേ നമ്മളെ.
Okay. That just gave me chills. It was so it just gives you kind of warm feelings, and then you kind of know some of the bad stuff that happens, but mostly it's good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like this will definitely be one I will return to rewatch.
Yeah, it's one I think I could recommend to people who aren't sure about like how to get into Indian films. Let's see, the RR, which is kind of big spectacle, commercial, lots of buzz, or there's the really cool like Malayalam films that are a little more grounded, kind of beautiful, and
especially I think it's so cool to have so many films at our disposal to share with people who do love genre films, action movies, like big Fast and Furious type movies. But it is so nice to see these. Like, I would liken this to like if you're a fan of like indie family dramas, that's exactly the wheelhouse that this lives in. And yeah, they did it really well. It was really effective, and I didn't miss. I was telling you pre-show, whenever I'm watching a movie that is categorized as drama, and nothing after that, it's not like drama thriller. Like drama sci-fi. I have to really be like, okay, Elizabeth, no one will be a werewolf. We know this. There will not be a zombie apocalypse. Like, it's okay. Interesting things will still happen, and character development will happen, and you will enjoy it. I didn't have to talk myself through this in that way at all, because they captured some of the, I'm going to borrow a phrase from John Schnarr's patina of genre.
That's a really cool phrase, yes.
In their execution of this film. We can get into it, but there are several parts that feel like, no, I don't want to say scary. Like, it's not like they're not giving me like horror movie vibes, but like they get you to a place emotionally with these characters that when they really do sort of emotionally pop off in that third act, it is the stakes feel very high in a way that I enjoy as a person who really likes mystery, thriller, horror, sci-fi. Like, it got me. Like, it kept me in my seat, and I was paying attention, and that's always impressive to me for a non-genre film.
Seriously, you're right. I have to set expectations also because I don't really gravitate toward drama. I mean, and that's what's funny too is that most people do. Most people want these kind of nice feel-good dramas, and I just don't. And so when I'm told to watch one of these, I'm like, okay, I will. And I really try to commit to it once I decide to, because I'm like, if I don't let myself, get carried away with the drama, then it's not doing it a service for anyone. And if I'm a real movie lover, which I am, I should like all genres. It's just not my favorite. But this was like, I feel like I went to this place, I got to know these people. It was beautiful. It was sad, but it was mostly like really sweet and inspiring. Like, think about it. So here are these four brothers, and they're all characters, right? It's like it was Saji, who was the older brother, who kind of took over because their dad died recently. So they're all kind of, and they're in this little shack, fishing shack, and so they fish for, I guess, a living. And so they live in a house with no door on it. They talk about, we got to fix this door. It's like, yeah, sure. But it's so beautiful.
It is so gorgeous. Like, the cinematography. It is so pretty. The color palette they use. It all sort of gives me, this movie gave me, what is it called? Synesthesia, where it's like colors look like sound, like it's like everything, all the everything affecting my senses sort of melted into this one amoeba type thing that was just like, it's such a vibe. Like, this has such atmosphere that was like half of the enjoyment for me. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be insensitive in this comment. I just have to say, is this place on Airbnb? Like, I don't care if it's where they let the dogs go. That's a bonus for me. Like, the dogs can run around outside.
I like
it
the
doesn't
dog
need
going.
a door. You don't need, what did he say? You don't need plaster. You don't, no, chill. You're fine. This is so, like, I want to be here. It looks like so relaxing in a way, with like the water sounds, and you can almost like smell the summer air. Like, they did a great job with the atmosphere and the cinematography.
Oh, they really did. And it's in Kerala, which apparently
I looked
really beautiful.
Where is this?
I'll check this place out. I know, it's like really beautiful. And they all have their own little weird personalities. It's like two of the brothers won't even live with the other brothers because they're always fighting, and it's just not worth it. So they kind of come and go.
It's so true to like family dynamics, though.
It really is.
Yeah.
And you see them just fighting in the doorway. They're just wrestling on the floor, and everybody's rolling their eyes, going, "Oh, for God's sake, these people, come on!" But then the disruptor to all this good feeling comes in two ways. One is a woman, which is always the case. So we have Baby, who has a huge crush on Bobby, who is just so cute. She's looking at him
adorable, and the fact that her name is Baby, like, it's perfect. I know y'all have to understand, we American audiences very much associate characters being named Baby with Dirty Dancing.
Yeah,
the don't put baby in a corner. Yep. You can Google it, find the little gif. And this, I felt, as an Indian predecessor, like, she's so great. She's such a great female character. I think she's so finely drawn. I think she's layered in a way that, like, I almost wish they would have given her just a little more in the way of dialogue, but she does so much with so little that I don't feel like I'm missing anything from her performance. She was really good.
Yeah, the adoring glances, Bobby's way. And it's that classic, like, she loves him. She has a huge crush on him, but he's kind of ignoring it because she's like, I'm not even getting involved in this.
She calls him my crush. Like, I don't know if that if that's correct, but there were a few times that it was like, remember my crush? Right. And I'm like, that is the cutest thing ever. Because, like, also, I think Bobby would be my crush of the brothers. Like,
he's definitely
just darling. Yeah.
Tall, lanky, has that great hair.
Totally.
So cute. So I love that. And then we have Fahadh Faasil, who comes in as Sammy. He's the one who's like the cranky neighbor. He's always lashing out. He won't even let the kids get their ball out of his yard, and it's punctured, and they won't even get back their punctured ball. And I love how they introduce him like that. The kids talking about him, and then they show him, and he's got that look on his face.
I know.
So, like, just looking for trouble. Unfortunately, he is the brother-in-law of Baby. Yeah. So he does not like this family, Bobby's family.
And he essentially functions as the patriarch of Baby's
he thinks he
clan,
is.
right?
which I love.
That's a good point. He thinks
that's what I loved about it, because he thinks he's hot shit, because I guess they're living in his house or something. But she goes and says, I'm gonna marry this guy, and he just totally shuts it down. No, you're not. And she's like, I don't have to listen to you. I love her independence, because we do not see that very often.
No, we don't. There were a few things, I know we'll touch on all of it. There were some choices made while like producing this film that I really meant to appreciate as a female moviegoer. Like I loved all the female characters. I thought that they so often, and especially, I mean, no hate, love it. I love all cinema, but sometimes in Indian film making, like especially the sort of fast-paced action, kind of like more thriller genre, it's moving so quickly that we don't get a ton of time to have small, quiet moments with the women. They're typically coming in when there's a moment of like conflict or to be the love interest, like, which I understand. Like I understand genre entertainment, and that there will be conventions of it where this is just going to be the case, where we've got like the woman between the two men, or the woman that's going to take the king down, like whatever. So I'm fine with that. I also just love seeing these movies where like we have so many women, they're all so different, and they all get all this emotional space to take up, where they don't have to be one fantastic thing. They get to be a bunch of nuanced little things. And it's sort of this patchwork that makes it feel lived in and true to life. Like, and maybe that's why people like dramas. I don't know. Like, is it
maybe
all like
we're discovering we like dramas?
I know. All of a sudden, I'm like, this was not awful, you guys. Like, I didn't turn it off,
and I liked it. What's up with that? Yeah. Of course, we did get a tiny little call out to horror with the Shining thing at the end, where Shammy, and of course we're not going to say major spoilers, but a few, where he kind of loses his shit when they decide to defy him about the marriage, and he completely goes like,
I didn't like him then.
No, he got really creepy. I love where he goes into a corner and just kind of like disappears into himself, and the wife is like, what are you doing? Are you okay? And he's just standing in the corner because he doesn't know what to do when women won't listen to him. Like he can't intimidate them, he can't yell at them and make them obey him. So he kind of like loses his mind a little bit, and he goes into a corner. So she calls, and was it his brother or someone who knows him, and says, what's up with this? I go, he'll be fine, just let him wear it off. He'll wear off. So when she goes back to deliver him, he's gone. And she's like, where? He pops out and he's like, hey, and he just looked like full on Jack Nicholson coming through the door with an axe. I was like, that was
all work, no play makes. That was for real a moment where like the minute you said that was sort of an homage. I don't know if it was like directly from the filmmakers, but it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And I love it.
I wonder if it is because they did a teaser poster where they're doing the Abbey Road walking across the street.
Interesting.
So anytime people doing call outs to movies, I'm like, there has to be in their mind some sort of
it's for sure.
I don't know, maybe I kind of got that feeling because he was the patriarch and he was lashing out, and I might be wanting that more than it's actually true. But
we're gonna go with it. I like that reading of the film. I like it.
It gave me what I needed.
That's right. Right. In that third act, it's like, I get some, like some horror. I really, some people being horrific moments where, and I do like that he was ultimately taken down by a fishing net. Like so many
that was great
things about the fishing village and that's their way of life. Like,
I was raised by TV as a child. I'm okay, right? Right.
Good. Same. I have to say that to myself all the time where I'm like, no, I'm not okay. Let's be real.
I know. I do the same thing. I'm totally messed up. But
also, our TV was actual TV. Hers is grown women playing with Barbies and LOL dolls on YouTube. It's very strange. Like, it's very
strange.
Oh, it's like propaganda for capitalism in a way that I don't know if I'm like super cool. I know I'm not. But here we are. So we're ready.
And you know what? I feel like the more you see it and know about it, the more you're able to manage it.
To fight it. Because that's right. I mean, she's going to get it regardless of me handing her an iPad or not. But.
It's kind of like, I feel like my parents did make alcohol a thing. Like it was like, hey, I want a sip of your wine. It's like, fine, have a sip of it. That was gross.
If you demystify, yeah.
If you make it seem like it's desirable in a naughty way, everybody's going to want it. So
everybody had that friend whose parents were like,
yes,
you can't do anything. And then they were doing meth in a parking lot with a 30-year-old when we were like sophomores. Like, true story. But
so true.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, maybe chill a little at home, and
Everybody just chill, man.
we
And
don't
I
have to
just
go
don't think
buck
TV.
wild the minute you leave the house. Yeah.
And my parents let me watch anything. I let the kid be the barometer for the most part. I mean, no, well, I let them watch, Martyrs, no, but I let them watch just about anything else.
That's
Like,
my philosophy is,
if you like it or not for the kid. I
and
like
I
some.
know
Some
we
don't.
were raised in it was very different than today. There was nobody gave a shit about therapy. There was not
Yeah.
like, how do you feel about this? It was like the Wild West. I often refer to it as like generations previous to the youth of today were in a way raised by wolves. Like it was very,
Yeah, kind of.
we were socially feral in a way where like my mom, and I love her for it, and like it really did make me this creative that I am today. Like she had
Yeah.
very, very few things that if I was truly interested in it, that she would
Yeah.
censor from me. So like it was more
Yeah.
about why am I interested in it and how can she frame it in a way that like my 10-year-old mind can understand. But it
Exactly.
was never really about like restricting access to the thing. So
Right.
like she let me read Stephen King when I was like 10, and then we would have
Me too.
really frank conversations about what was sexual abuse or and it, I
That's
think about
great.
it now and I'm like, it's not bad. It's things that like
Yeah.
adults are uncomfortable talking about with anyone. So they
Yeah.
definitely don't want to deal with that and have that moment of vulnerability with their child. But I
Exactly.
don't think it's a bad thing.
It's
So
not a bad thing.
yeah,
I think that sparks conversation, and
it
it's
does.
not a mystery. And then when you hear about it, you know what it is. That's right.
Right. And
Like
information is
taking
never bad.
books out of libraries and
Oh
out of
no,
schools
don't
is
even
the
get me
worst
started.
thing you can do. And yeah, sorry, none of us are hurt by books. That's just the way it is.
Nope.
So,
Anyway, tirade over.
back to where we are. That'll be a blooper at the end. With
Yes.
funny. It'll be the serious conversation with a music on it.
Yes, yes. And then like Heidi. I'm like, okay, gotta.
You said remember where you were, and now of course I forget.
Okay, we were talking about the shining moment.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're talking about the patriarchal. So Fahadh Faasil continually throughout the film tried to dominate everyone around him.
Mm-hmm.
That was just his thing. The guest who stayed at his house, the American, who he
she
saw.
was not having it.
No, she was not with the cute brother.
How cool
She
is it that she's Black? Like, I just have to
yes, that was very
call
unusual.
attention to just seeing
Yeah,
diversity in film always is great.
I
And
know. I love that
yeah,
too.
that was just lovely.
I love that American was represented by a Black woman. It was awesome.
Mhm.
Could have been anybody, but it was her, and she was great. Like I'm like, where's her movie? She was cool.
Right. Well, just that we saw an entire, yeah, absolutely. I need a spin-off with her. And that we were watching a movie where everyone like it's all people, like it's all brown people. And that's so lovely to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And to not have to like seek out as like, I'm looking for diversity.
Yeah.
A lot of that, it's cool to see that becoming like a thing that you're seeing on like a global scale with cinema.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's great. And that's one of the reasons I like promoting this, because you're seeing films outside of your own experience. You're seeing diversity, you're seeing different culture. I love it. And I love this because it wasn't an amped up version of culture that we're seeing in a lot of the movies
Right.
that we've seen that are fun, but not necessarily, super introspective stuff like that. I really like that, so like Patan or which was super fun and crazy, and War and KGF, all those big crazy action films that we like because they are a different version of the action film through a different lens, which I always appreciate, but also just fun. Sometimes I just want fun. I'm not looking for anything, with depth. I just want a well-staged stunt with some fun actors. Like just bring it on. But in this one, we had some commentary about, the patriarch, how women are becoming more independent and have more say in their relationships and their future, and it's never preachy. It just felt like a natural, like these are the discussions people were having, and I really, really liked that. And it just had a very beautiful, intimate feeling, with a few rock bottom moments that create more depth in the character. But highly, highly recommend this movie.
Yeah, it's good. I didn't know what I was going into necessarily. I knew we have like kind of a shorthand of, I knew because of how you pitched it to me that I was going to enjoy it. So I really just like settled into this in a way that I wasn't expecting.
Yep.
A very comfortable watch while still being challenging to the viewer in ways that I appreciate.
There was drama.
Yeah.
There
and
was
there's drama that, like,
conflict.
it's not like it makes you think about things like loyalty to family or what you do with agency once you get it, like how far to flex freedom if that's the value that you're seeking, and at what cost, and the price of friendship comes up a lot in this, which I enjoy as a theme and motif. And what a moment we can't not talk about.
The sad moment.
Yes. When Saji is having not a great time.
No.
And, is really on the outs with family and just feeling pretty worthless, obviously. Like, goes and just gets, like, rip-roaring drunk. And then, I mean, I was like, where are you going? Like, what is happening? And then I'm just, like, gasping, like, spoiler alert. Please go see this movie. Turn away if you want to, and don't listen.
Yeah.
Okay, but then he's, like, attempting to kill himself, and his friend at the, like, last minute is able to stop him and save him and he essentially he gives his life for his friends. Like, he ends up dying in the rubble of the building that anyway, watch it. It's great. Very emotional moment. And
it was really sad. And I'm like, how are they coming back from this? Like,
but they did.
They did.
Yeah. And in a way that felt organic. And that's what I mean by, like, lived in. It feels like the ebb and flow of sort of the good and bad and the humorous and the sad and the dysfunction and the harmony. It all felt very true to just family life or daily life of any kind, wherever you are. There's that's all stuff that unites us, I think, wherever you're from.
Totally. And like you were talking about the nets earlier, and we'll wrap it up, but I love how the nets were kind of a ongoing theme throughout the thing. They're fishermen. The nets were beautiful. They throw out these nets. And it's very graceful, like the way they ripple and they throw them out in slow motion. They look great. And they kept showing that. And you kept thinking about the people are caught up in their own nets.
Right.
They keep showing the net.
Nice
they
symbolism.
actually diffuse the shining moment with a net, and they're confined. Sometimes they're trapped, but it also brings them their livelihood. So it's like,
and literally brings them closer together. Yeah.
And that's how Baby met Bobby too. Like, she's showing tourists the how they fish. And it was just like, so it's okay.
Another, like, real quick, a moment that I will probably remember for a long time to come from this film is the scene where Bobby and Baby, I believe, are talking about how he's saying his father is like I can't remember what the name of the fish was, like the something fish, where the reason they're so easy to catch is because after they breed, the babies glow orange or something. Like, there was some beautiful metaphor about he says, so ultimately the offspring are the reason for their own undoing. Like, their little ones are the ones that cause the death of the parent.
That's right.
And then he sits for a beat and is like, my father is a whatever. I wish I could remember
the orange fish.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was a nice moment. And I'm forever a fan of a good like metaphor or great symbolism. And super appreciated the fish and the fishing and net and water theme that they had sort of running throughout this. It was really beautiful.
Really great. So, you guys, we highly recommend this film. And this came from hardcore horror fans who don't like dramas, and we were totally, like, enthralled and endeared to this movie.
It charmed me. It
really did.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Jones liked it too. He just went by going, it was pretty good. There were dogs were running free. I liked it.
Yes, Taylor Swift the cat was a big fan as well.
She likes seeing the fish flipping around.
Yes.
All right, so we'll see you guys next time. Be sure to check out Elizabeth's new channel.
Yes,
Hear Me Gore.
Do it.
Put some information in the credits, so be sure and look down there. All right. Bye.
Yes.
Hello. Hi. I know, I'm taking your mom away for a few minutes. Very cute hair. I love it. Yeah. Testing, testing. Hi. That's so cute. Hi. It'll just be a few minutes.
All right, we're gonna keep doing our show, okay?
Okay. Now she's just showing up.
If you really need me, not because you spilled berry juice, but for a real thing, tell me, okay? All right. Go watch your show.
She's so cute. So cute.
Literally letting YouTube raise my child.
I guess I know.
I know. Well, it's raising everyone.
Can't fight it. Gotta lean into it sometimes. That's what I use to bribe her.